and start recording. Okay, so these are the 3 things that we're going to do today. This is a tiny book, and I made some yesterday, and my granddaughters immediately took them for their dolls. They're just really cute. And this cover, I had asked you guys to cut some things of different sizes, and the one that's 10.5 centimeters by 9.5 was the cover. And what I did was I took a picture of one of my Zentangle tiles and printed it and then cut it to size. So we're going to do that one first. For that one, you're going to need your plain sheet of paper. And your ruler and a pencil. Oh, okay, there it is. And then for my cover, I found just an old calendar and cut off a pretty section of it.
Okay, Barbara.
Yes.
I may or may not get knocked out of this because I just got a message that the internet connection is unstable. So if I disappear, that's why. Okay,
well, it's being recorded, so you'll be able to get back to it.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna have this up kind of high so you guys can see what I'm doing. And so with your letter paper, whoop, I've got 2. We're just gonna start by folding it in half and try to get the edges as even as you can. And we're going to end up tearing this in half, so I'm going to do it back and forth a couple of times. Loretta, I'll try to help you the best I can as far as the ruler. And then you don't need this second half. You can just put it aside. Okay, so if you have the metric side, we're going to make a mark at 36 millimeters.
Centimeters or millimeters?
36, well, 3.6 centimeters, so that's 36 millimeters.
3.6
centimeters.
That's pretty small.
Well, this is 3 centimeters. Can you see that? See, this is 3 centimeters. Mine is marked in centimeters.
I'm trying to figure out if mine's marked in millimeters or centimeters.
See,
centimeters are pretty tiny. I mean, millimeters are the tiniest marks.
And how many are there supposed to be of those?
Well, there's 10 millimeters in 1 centimeter.
Yeah, I understand that. What's the size that we're supposed to be going for here?
36 millimeters, which is 3.6 centimeters.
6. Well, that's hard for me to see.
Yeah, it was kind of hard for me too. Just get as close as you can. What we're trying to do is divide it into 6 separate sections. So it's at 36 and 72.
Are we gonna fold these?
Yes.
And we're just doing it into thirds, right?
Well, it's going to be 6 sections.
But I can do thirds and then half it, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna fold it.
What are you doing?
Well, and then I'm going to do the same thing from the other side. I'm going to mark from 36 millimeters from the other end also, just a little mark, and 72. Whoops, come off the screen. So can you see what I'm doing?
Oh yes, it's not working with me.
So can you see where I've marked it? Here, 36 and 72. And then I've done the same thing from the other end. I'm at 36 and 72. Whoops. Everybody got that? And then we're going to fold it. So on that first mark, fold it.
Can't see it.
And on the first mark, fold it, increase it. And the same thing, here's the 72. Here's the second mark. And fold it. Increase it.
Not quite with you yet.
Okay. Just folding it on those marks that I made. And we'll end up folding it in half also.
So I have something that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 by 3. Is that squares? Is that what we're supposed to have?
So far I have 1, 2, 3 because I folded mine in half. I folded in on those first 2 marks. Now I'm going to fold on the next mark.
On which mark?
Well, we've done 4 marks, right?
Well, I did mine by folding. I divided mine by folding, so I don't have marks.
I did mine by folding too, and I ended up with 6. That's because that's
Right.
what we want, right?
He
Right.
said we would have 6 sections.
Yes, you'll have 6 sections.
6 sections in one direction and 3 sections in the other.
Well, I haven't done another direction yet. Okay, so right now I have just 6 sections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
Does everybody have that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now on the short end, we're going to mark at 47 millimeters. This one is going to end up being in 3 sections.
Okay.
How many centimeters is your thing altogether?
14.
Okay, so I'm right. Okay.
Yeah. So on this one, we're going to mark it at 47. And at 92.
So we're dividing it in 3s this direction, right?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
There should be 47 millimeters from each end. Okay? And then we're going to fold on those marks also. And just use your edge to make sure it lines up straight. So we end up with 18 little sections. So you might want to fold them back the other direction just to get a decent crease. On all of them. Oops. Okay. Everybody have theirs in little sections?
Yes.
Now I'm going to mark on mine. Don't mark on yours because I just want you to see what I'm doing. I'm going to make a cut from this end all the way up this way, and I'm going to stop at this fold. Okay? And then from the other end, I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to come up this one until I get to that one, and then I'm going to cut. So this is going to be a cut down to here, and this is going to be a cut.
Okay.
Walk in the room. Actually, a slight pencil line helps you see where to cut a little bit easier too. I've got people working next door. Hopefully y'all don't get bothered by that noise. So this is what it should look like, kind of a Z or an N. Okay. So now we're going to start folding. And it's just going to be back and forth, layering it back, forth. And then when you get to this section, it's going to fold behind. Okay. Y'all see that? And then just keep folding. When you get to that other section again, fold it behind. And then just keep going back and forth. And I just kind of press the edges down, and they're not going to be perfect. But there's your little book, the beginning of it. And one thing I like to do at this point, see how it opens up like this, where we folded it behind? Okay, so you have this little zigzag and then it folded back. On those sections, I'm going to glue that together. So if you have your glue stick, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on those. It just helps it hold
Now, which ones are you doing for sure before I glue them?
See, right here, this part.
Yeah.
Just that.
You're just gluing those two ends together.
That's right. The two where it went behind. And then as you get to the next section, you'll see it kind of falls over.
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to add a little bit more glue on that section also.
Now I've got two that are sticking out. Is that right? Or I did it wrong?
Two that are sticking out?
The two that I glued. I probably glued them wrong. You wanted to glue them so that they. Yeah, I did it wrong.
But I think you may have a little sticking out because we didn't necessarily measure exactly like Barbara did. We just folded without measuring.
Can you
She
see
has
mine?
two
See,
sticking
mine
out
looks.
too.
I got like this, so I did obviously glued it wrong.
No, see how, look at Barbara's. Is that what you have?
Oh, this is, yeah.
Yeah, there will be some that stick out together.
Okay.
Those are the two that we glued.
Right, the two that you glued are going to stick together like a double piece.
Yes. Okay.
Does yours look like that?
Yes.
Okay, so that's what we're looking for. And then when you put it back together, you'll have two little double pages and the rest will be single pages. And that's what we want.
Okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So now we're going to do the book cover. And this is the one.
Okay, so after we,
go ahead.
Okay, hold up, Barbara. After
Okay.
we glued, it should look like a continuous accordion, right?
Yes.
Well, except for your two one pages are sticking out.
Right. Right.
Okay. All right, I think I got it.
Okay. You should be able to flip from one page to another. Like that. Like a little book. Got it? Dorothy?
Just a second. I'm trying to see if I can get to each page. Yes, I can. Yes, I can get to each page. Yes.
Yeah, I know. I got a little bit of glue that went over on the other pages, but you just open them up. Okay?
Okay.
Now we're going to do the book cover. And find the side that's 10.5 centimeters. That's your long side. Okay? And then I'm going to mark on mine. So back here I have 10.5 going in this direction. And I have 9.5 going in that direction. Okay? Zoom in a little bit on this. And I'm going to mark on this one. Let's find it again. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold this in half. And all we're going to do is make a little pinch.
Wait, before you did that, did you cut it to the 10.5?
Yes, it's 10.5 and 9.5.
Okay.
So which way are we folding it in half?
On the short side.
And we're just pinching it to make a marker or halfway? Is that what we're doing?
Yes, we're marking it halfway on both sides. So we're just going to fold it together and make a little pinch just as a mark. Do you already have your paper, Dorothy? So I have a mark here, and I have a mark here in the center. Okay?
We're doing that on both sides, you said, right?
Yes, on both sides.
On both, in both directions?
No,
Only on the short side.
correct.
Okay, got it.
Dorothy, you have yours?
I'm just getting ready to cut it.
Okay. We'll wait for you.
She's cutting her square or her rectangle. Is that what we're doing here?
I'm doing it to 10.5 and
9.5.
9.5.
So while she's doing it, I'll show you.
Okay.
I found that I have some old scrapbook paper that came in little squares that has some pretty patterns on it. You could use old wrapping paper, just all kinds of things that you could use. Like I said, this is an old calendar. Okay, so now that you have that, we're going to take these edges and just fold them in to those center marks on each side.
Complete fold all the way across?
To the center. Yes, all the way across.
I'm using watercolor paper and it is hard.
Oh dear.
But I'll get it.
Yeah, I'm sure watercolor paper's thick.
Yeah, it is. And this is watercolor paper that I colored, so it's.
I bet it's pretty though.
Oh, I like it. I like what I did. I'll show you guys when we get this done.
Yeah. Okay, so this is what we should have. So this is
Okay.
our book cover. Okay, so I'm going to take one edge and fold it over. And what I'm going to do is we're making just a little bit of a crease back here. And we do that by folding this to about 1/8 of an inch. Can you see what I've done?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's close enough. And then
Okay.
fold your crease back here at this end.
Does it matter if we got a front and a back? Does it matter which way we do it? Fold now?
No.
Okay.
So I folded one edge over to about 1/8 of an inch here.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to turn it to the other side and do the same thing to about 1/8 of an inch. And then make a crease back here. But what that does is it gives us kind of a
Yeah,
crease back here. That's all we're trying to do.
Oh, I think I folded it wrong. When you were supposed to fold it up, you were supposed to fold it on the full side, right?
On the long side.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
How do I fix this? I think I did this where I can't.
Right. So we folded on the 10.5 towards the center of the shorter edge, the shorter side.
So you do that and then you turn it and you do it again? Is that what you're doing here?
What we did here, Victoria, was we're just making a crease. I folded it over. Okay, so here's your center line, your center opening. And I folded it over until it's about an 1/8 inch right here and creased it.
And then you turned around and you opened it up and did the same thing the other way.
Then I did it from the other way.
Okay, so I don't know. We'll see if I did this right. I tell you, this thick paper. Ugh.
When you get that done, your little book with these pages towards you like this should slip right down in there, like a book cover.
Yes. Yep.
So how'd you slip them in there?
No, they.
Okay, you're just putting them in there. Got it.
Right. And this one's towards the back.
Okay.
Okay. Everybody got that?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I'm just going to open it up a little bit so I can see, just like, you know, when we were kids and we had to do our book covers. Now I can see where this one needs to fold. So I'm just going to fold it over and crease it on each side.
Barbara, you really expect me to remember what it was like making a book cover?
I did so many, I'm not going to forget it. And I had to do it for my kids too.
Oh boy, this is fighting this paper, but that's okay.
Well, you can do it again. If you don't glue it inside of here, you know, do it again after this. So both sides, I'm just kind of measuring and folding it over. Okay. Did you get yours to fold, Victoria?
It's working. Not the best, but it's working. Come on, you can do it. Huh. What did I do wrong? Should work. Even it doesn't want to go in.
What we're going to end up doing next is slipping that paper into these edges, but I want you to watch me first because these should slip right in, right? Now, when I gave mine to my granddaughters, they immediately pulled the pages back out. And so what I ended up doing
is gluing it.
Yeah, was before I slip my page into this crease, I'm going to put some glue on this section, all the way to the end, and it helped to just hold it down.
So where'd you, can you show me where you glued again?
I glued. I'm going to be putting my paper in here.
Uh-huh.
I put my glue just on this edge right here. The whole
the whole side.
Yes. Well, not the whole thing yet, because we still got to do the other side, and we don't want glue on that yet. And then slip your end down in there until it meets your crease. And then fold it over. Oh dear. This wrong. Okay, here we go.
Let's see if this works. See if I get the idea.
And then are we going to do the same thing to the other end?
Yes, but the other thing I did was I also, when I got ready to do this side, I'm going to rub a bunch of glue on the whole back side of these pages to kind of hold them to the back.
Oh, okay.
And then, okay, so see what I did? And then put the glue on this other side.
Oh, I see what you did.
And slip your page in.
Come on, glue, work. My glue's not working. There we go.
And when you push it back in there, wipe off any excess glue. Your little book should hold together. I took my granddaughters to a ferry trail yesterday in Friendswood, and at one of the ferry doors, they had little books. And so they were so excited when they got home and I made these books, they immediately took them. So now it should open up. And you've got a little book.
I got glue on me everywhere. You know how I hate my fingers dirty. I really hate that. Okay. Okay.
How'd it go? Everybody get one together?
Yes.
Loretta, did you get yours to work? Good.
Yep.
Good.
Can you see this? I can't see if you can see this or not.
No, I can't.
Where's the camera on this thing?
There's mine.
Okay, now I can't. No. Back
There?
up. Back up a little. No, I still can't see it.
We just see your thumb.
Yeah.
There we go.
Thumb. So it's down here.
Yeah, but you're too close.
Yeah.
Okay, now. Cool. Oh, I like that watercolor. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yes, that's my watercolor. But I would not recommend this thick paper for trying to fold this little book.
Right. That's why it said origami paper or wrapping paper, something that's not too thick.
Yeah, but I wanted to make some.
Yeah.
This is from doing these things.
Oh, right. Oh, okay. Cool.
Only I did it differently. I used my brushos. Remember the brushos that we used in one class? The new people, Loretta, you would remember it, Barbara, but not Loretta. I love brushos. Brushos are fun. Anyway, I had a lot of fun making this.
Right.
But I had previously cut this paper for something else, but it's awful thick. But I think it's made a really cute little book.
Beautiful. Okay, the next thing I'm going to show you how to do is a zine, which is like a tiny magazine. And I did this one when I was in Victoria's class, and we were learning about dingbats. And so I put a little bit on each one of these pages. And it's really super easy to make. And you're going to need the plain sheet of paper. Let me back it up. Okay.
So I'm sorry, we need a plain piece of paper?
Yes, letter size paper.
Okay.
Not cardstock. You could probably do it, but I'm going to show you on this paper. It's a lot easier to fold. And we're going to fold it in half lengthwise, increase it. Then we're going to fold it again, the short ends towards each other. And crease it again. Okay. And now we're going to fold it again. Just take those short ends and have them meet up at the center. So increase it again.
Folding them both inward?
Yes.
Okay.
And then I'm just going to fold mine back the other way again, just to make a better crease on each of these. Okay. And then fold it again, fold it back to where it was. In half.
So in half on the long way.
Yes.
And you have it then like this.
So long ways. I'm going to fold it back in half again.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to mark on mine, don't mark on yours. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this center part and I'm going to stop right here while it's folded.
You're cutting on the crease, you're cutting on the fold.
Yes.
Okay.
Now you're going to have a hole in the center. Bring those together. See what I did? So you have your hole. Fold those and then bring them in.
Okay,
So
Barbara, I need you to back up to before we cut. I'm not getting the same direction as you.
Okay, so with your whole sheet of paper, I folded it in half. Okay.
Yes, I did that.
And then I cut right here. One cut just to that, where that fold line is right here.
I must have folded mine wrong because I'm getting long. I'm getting long ones. I must have folded it wrong.
Do you have a whole sheet of paper?
Yeah.
It didn't look small, didn't it, Barbara?
It has 8 sections.
Okay, I did the long one. I did the long one.
Right. And then open it up.
Right. And I folded it in half.
Yes.
Okay.
And then you fold.
And then you open it up after you fold it in half. And then you're folding it in this way. Right?
The short way or the long way?
This is the long. So this is the long way. And this is short. Okay? So I folded each one in
On the short end.
from the short end towards the center. And that gave me 8 sections.
Okay.
You got that?
Yes.
Okay. So you're going to take the short end to the short end. You're going to fold it in half.
Okay, which is going to the center of the paper.
No, totally fold it in half. Now just fold it in half.
Oh, okay, folded back in half. Okay.
Yeah. So I totally opened it up.
Yeah.
And fold it over.
Right.
And then that's where I made my cut.
And the cut went to the center line.
Went to that center line right there.
Okay, I got it.
Okay. So now that you have this, you should be able to open it up and pull these together. You've got like an X.
Got it.
Okay. Now just fold these together. You see what I did? It doesn't matter exactly how you do it, but you're going to fold them and then fold this one back over.
Okay, I got it.
Okay. Does everybody have theirs folded?
Mm-hmm.
Victoria? Okay. So if I take this one, and you don't mark on yours, but just let me show you. Here's the front. And here's page 1, page 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and your back. So if you wanted to do what I did on this one, I didn't do it with it in the book. I opened it up. And that way it was easier for me to draw what I wanted to draw. Okay? And then I just put it back together. And there's your little book. And this is called a zine. Z-I-N-E. Super simple to make.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I have here. You know, you can use it for practice. You could use it for a card to send to someone, a little gift with some Zentangle on it. All right, so that's our second one. Any questions on that? Okay. Let's set that one to the side. And anybody need to take a break?
Okay. I'm okay.
Okay. So the last one we're going to do, mine's actually pink, so I'm going to move this off. Now this is the one that's 21 by 21 millimeters. It just needs to be square. And we're going to divide it into 3 sections. So on mine, since this is 21, I'm going to mark it at 7 and 14.
Okay, I had left mine at, mine's 8.5. So are you just doing it in half or in thirds, or what are you doing?
You left it at 8.5
inches. So I
square?
only had to cut one end, yeah.
Just do in thirds, Barbara.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just do it in thirds is what we're doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you have yours measured to 21, then I'm going to mark mine at 7 and 14. It's just a way to get a good section of it. So I'm marking each one of my sides at 7 and 14. And I have just a piece of cardboard I'm going to put under mine because I'm going to use, yeah, I mentioned having a pen that doesn't work or something like that. I actually have my thing from my Cricut that I'm going to use.
Yeah, that's what I was.
I was looking for a pen that didn't work, or a pen that works, I would find one that didn't. But I could not yesterday find a pen that didn't work. So I'm just using my ruler to crease this. Okay.
So you're not folding it, you're creasing it.
I'm going to fold it, but this just helps do the fold straight. So I'm creasing it in both directions.
Ooh, I can't see my mark.
I don't know if you can see, I just have the creases on there that make it easier for me to fold it. You could just fold it in thirds. And then I'm just going to fold mine back and forth to make a decent crease. Oh, I didn't realize this page was different on the other side. Oh well. And now I'm just folding it back and forth where I made the crease. In both directions.
So we're folding in thirds going both directions?
Yes.
Okay.
So we have a 9 and 9 3x3.
Mhm.
Yes. 9 sections. Okay. And then we're going to do just like we did on that other one. Okay, this is one that I did earlier today. I'm going to cut to that first line here. Then I'm going to come from the other side and cut to that fold. So we'll end up with a zigzag again. Then turn it and come up from the other side.
Is this the inside of the book?
Now this is just a little accordion book all by itself. It's one of these.
Okay.
And then again, we're going to fold it, and we're not going to glue this one. So fold it in, and then fold behind. Just keep folding, zig, zag, behind. And this is one that I did, and I put a bijou tile on the front with the photo corners, and I put just a piece of lace behind it, and you could fill it with bijou tiles, and where it folded like we did on that other one, I glued.
Okay, so you did glue those things.
I did glue those together. So like on this one, and I didn't mean to get a double color. So where these two came together here, I glued it. And then this side, again, where it came together, like that, I glued it. Any questions or problems on that one? Say
Nope.
this is a nice little bijou size. The other thing that you can do if you have scrapbook paper or anything 12 by 12 is that you can do it in a bigger size. These I folded exactly the same as the one that we just did, okay? So I divided a 12 by 12 sheet of paper into the 9 squares like we had, and then glued these sections together where they turned. And then I've used glue dots that are supposed to be removable dots. And I put my tiles down. And then your page turns, and then I also have them on the back.
So Barbara,
Yes.
remember the big one that we did the overall design and then we cut it? Do you have an example of that? Yeah.
So this one we did with the same thing, the 12 by 12 paper, but I think we did ours in 4 sections. So
yeah, I think we did.
We had a big sheet of 12 by 12 paper, and we drew a big design on that, the full design, and then we cut it. So this has actually 16 sections. So 12 by 12, we put a big design, colored it, folded it in half and in half until we had 16 sections. And then you end up doing 2 cuts. Let me do 8 1/2, 8 1/2. Let me show you. Okay, so this would be your work, and we painted, let's say this is 12 by 12. We did Zentangle and then watercolor or however you wanted to do it on top of the whole thing. And then we folded it in half. This is pretty easy to do. Fold it in half, and then fold those edges in to the center, and this is just to get that in half again. I'm just going to fold it back to get a better place. Okay, and then did the same thing again. Fold it in half. And fold it in. Both ways. And you can find instructions for this. It's called an accordion book. Okay, so can you see I've got 16 sections here. And you're going to do basically the same thing that we did before. You're going to cut this way to this line. You're going to cut this way to this line. And then cut back up this way to that line. So you end up with like a big M. You see that? And then you do the same thing. You just start folding. Fold behind. Back up. And this will make a tiny accordion book here, but this is how we did this one. Now the way that I did this one, zoom in on that, was I used a white piece of accordion book or scrapbook paper. And then I marked it so I knew which was which page, just very lightly. So I did a 1, so this was the front. And then I marked each page very lightly so I could go in and Zentangle the way I wanted it to be. 4, 5. I'm just going to mark the back page, back cover, so that when I opened it up and laid it back down flat, you can see these were the inside pages. This was my back page, my back cover, my front. But you would have each one of these marked, okay? And then I decided what I wanted on each of the pages, and I was able to tell that this was my top and bottom. And I cut another piece to go here on the front. So here was my front. And I had one to show you to go on top. But I put ribbon on the front and back. Put ribbon on the front and back like this, and then I put another just small card on top of that to cover it. And that's my front. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's how I did that one. A little bit different. With this one, we actually put a Zentangle tile on the front between this paper and the ribbon. put the ribbon in between. And I tangled back here, not realizing that that was going to be. That was a lot of fun. Yes. Any questions on that?
Mm-mm.
Nope, you did good.
Oh, well, thank you. Now, if you want to, I had a couple of tangles to show you.
Yes.
All right. Now, I don't have any tiles out here, so I'm just going to show you. You could actually do this in your zine if you would like to, but I've marked all over mine. And the first one I'm going to show you, actually both of these, when Victoria and I and anyone goes to the CZT seminars, they get what's called the Zenthology. And that has all of the current Zentangle patterns in it from Zentangle headquarters. And some of the patterns are published. So for instance, you can go to Tangle Patterns or patterncollection.com and see the step outs for those patterns. The ones that are not published are CZT only patterns, which means that they should only be taught to you by a CZT, and you shouldn't find those step outs on the internet. And the first one I'm going to show you is called Warble. It is W-A-R-B-L-E. And I'm just going to do a square here. If you're doing it on a tile, then you could do the dots or on a scrap piece of paper, however you want to do it. Let's see. Okay. And then we're just going to do some diagonal lines. And they don't have to be perfect. You could do it in a square grid. And then I'm going to turn. And make diagonal lines again so that we have sort of squares. Okay. I think we lost Loretta.
Might have been her internet.
Well, no, she's not even sitting there. I see her room, but she's not there.
Okay.
All right. And in each of these, just on the bottom part of your square, we're going to do similar to bales, but just one side. And bottom. Loretta, we did a grid.
I see it.
Great. I'm sorry. And then we're going to come back and do that on the other side. And again, we're only doing this on the bottom of each of these.
What's wrong with that meat?
And then you're going to fill those in. Can you guys hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I was hoping they were not going to turn that back on.
Mm-hmm. You supposed to be eating.
Yay! I hope it stays off. Let's see. My pen is running out. And these don't have to be perfect. This is practice for the moment. Are you ready to do the next part? What I did is I just did a very faint line down the center of each of these. It's kind of a guide. We're going to shade there anyway.
Barbara, I'm gonna go.
Okay, yeah, you've got the step outs for these. I don't have to teach it to you.
So what other, are you gonna teach any other than warble?
Current, C-O-U-R-A-N-T. That one.
Oh, that's pretty. I like that one.
Yeah, it's a really fun line meditation.
Okie dokie.
And this one that's how this one's gonna turn out.
Yeah.
And also the step outs.
Yeah. Okie dokie. Thanks, guys. It was great seeing everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
All right, bye.
How do I get out of here? There it is.
Okay. So when you're ready in these sections, I'm gonna start at the bottom down here. Do just a little aura. Okay. Inside of each one. Loretta, are you teaching Zentangle to your grandkids?
No, we haven't done it.
Is your daughter still doing it?
Yes, she is. I got her that Tangle calendar book. So when they closed up school, that was one of the things she had to remember to bring home, her calendar book.
Oh, okay. The Tangle a day or whatever?
Yes.
one thing I meant to mention to you guys, if you get to the point where it feels like your pen isn't working, one thing that you can do is each time you lift your pen, just twist it a little bit to move your pen to a different side. Does that make sense?
Mm.
So you can see that where people are teaching and they'll do a couple of lines and then they'll move their pen a little bit in their hand, and that tends to help keep the tip working a little bit better. And then for this one, I just put a little bit of shading right where I had that same line in the center. And mine looked a little bit sloppy, but I was doing them fast. And then just use your tortillon to smooth that out a little bit. As always, it makes a difference when you add the shading.
Have you done this where the diagonals are all different sizes?
No, I haven't, but that would be interesting.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I wondered what it looked like.
I think I went through 4 pens this morning trying to do the step out on this. All my pens are, well, the older ones are running out. I think it's a pretty grid.
Mm-hmm.
So this is my Zenthology, and all of those tabs are patterns that are not published.
Oh, wow.
They're CZT only.
That's a lot.
Yeah, so there's more to teach. Okay, the other one that I'm going to show you is, like I say, this one is called Current. And you just basically start with just a really odd string, okay, however you want to do it. And then you just start filling it in. To me, I love, when I can't figure out what to do, but I want a way to just relax, like in the evening before going to bed. Not that we have any stressful news or anything to worry about, but. Okay, so just make a weird string that goes all over your little square. And I'm going to add a line through it. And you just go to each section and R inside. And just keep working your way inside. It's patterns that you don't have to think about. Loretta, is that your TV in the background?
Okay, I'm muting it.
Okay, thanks. I really like line meditations, but I don't want to think about what I'm doing. Again, this one is called COURANT, and it's by Zentangle.
I'm surprised since we've been dealing with this pandemic for so long that they have not figured out how to start doing CZT training online, because then they would get a lot of people who, like in my case, I can't afford to go up there and spend 4 days in a hotel to get that training.
Right. Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do. The CZTs in Asia are having, they usually have a get together kind of like Zine again, which is only for CZTs. But since they couldn't get together, they're doing it online, the whole thing. But you had to be a CZT to be part of it. But it was only $280. And I can't remember how many classes they're doing, but it will be available online for a year. Yeah, I jumped at it. Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, that is a good deal.
Yeah.
I think that Zentangle kind of depends on those CZT seminars for, you know, their income and stuff. But yeah, I could only afford to do that once. There are some people that go to every CZT seminar that they can, and I just can't afford it. So I depend on the online classes. They normally charge anywhere from $35 to $45 per class, but I don't want to charge that. I know I can't afford it.
Well, I know once you get up there, then it quits being a hobby. It becomes
Yeah.
a issue.
Well, some people do it for a living. They teach.
Uh-huh.
So they depend on that charging extra. But like I said, I can't do it. So I did get my YouTube channel to work, and Loretta checked it out this morning. She was able to get to the links that I put up there.
Oh, good.
And you've been doing good, Barbara, stepping outside your comfort zones.
I know. So the YouTube channel is called, and I thought about this for the longest time, what would I call my website? And I'm not saying I'm going to do a website yet, but anyway, the YouTube channel is called Not Perfect Zen, because I don't expect to be perfect, and I don't expect anybody else to do perfect work, just to relax and enjoy doing Zentangle.
Mm-hmm.
But after I set that up, I went ahead and bought just a website name. I don't have a site for it to go to, so don't try to go to it. There's nothing there. But it's notperfectzen.art. They have an ending instead of .com or .net called .art. And I thought, well, that works. So it's Not Perfect Zen Art.
I was thinking it'd be kind of cool probably doing this with different colors.
Oh, yeah, it would. I think that would be great.
Barbara, I saw where it may have been on Etsy. I'm not sure where I saw it, where somebody did a face mask with Zentangle on it.
Yeah,
that's funny.
I said that would be easy to do because all you need to do is iron your fabric onto either Pellon interfacing, or you can iron it onto freezer paper in order for it to be stiff and not move when you're joining on it. And if you do it with these freezer paper, we do that with quilting. You can take the paper off.
Oh, okay.
And it'll still become soft fabric again because you pull it. Because when you do appliquing quilting and all that kind of stuff, you can iron freezer paper on the back to get it shaped, and then you pull it off, and that freezer paper is reusable to be ironed on something else.
Oh, wow, how cool. Well,
because then by ironing the freezer paper on the back, you know how when you go to write on fabric, it moves?
Right.
The freezer paper keeps it from moving when you're writing on it.
I still don't have a sewing machine. I've been looking online, and I guess they're just not making them anymore. You can't.
Do you know that picture Scary Night? I think it was Van Gogh did it.
Starry Night?
Yeah, Starry Night. This reminds me of that.
Oh, right.
Because even when I was sitting here watching you, George, Barbara, even just watching somebody else do that lining, it's relaxing.
It is. It really is. There's a lot of tangles that I like, and several more that I found that are just a really good, relaxing line meditation. And I've also found that doing the watercolor now, yeah, you could put watercolor in each section.
Yeah.
And that's very relaxing also. All right, ladies.
Great. Thank you very much.
I enjoyed it.
You're welcome. I enjoyed it too. And I will put this up on the YouTube site. Since it's a freebie, you'll be able to get to it. I'll finally have something that shows up.
Oh, okay.
So,
and so because you said you needed a password or whatever to get into it, is that why when the first time I went to the link, it said there's nothing on your playlist? But when I clicked the links for each one link that you sent, they're working. But when I clicked on the playlist, it said it was nothing there.
Correct, because I don't have any playlists set up. And the other ones, you should only be able to get to them if you've paid, okay? And so that way, if I'm having a class and you can't get to it, just like with yours, Loretta, you're able to get to it with the link, but it doesn't come up in a Google search. That's the difference. Now this one that I'm going to put may come up in a Google search. We'll see, because I'm not going to put it as unlisted. It will be listed.
Okay.
It'll be interesting to see how it goes. All right.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Bye.